Live in the Salon with Benita and Rita. Welcome. Get a glass of wine and get comfortable. You will be empowered, inspired, and will definitely have a little fun. Hey, you may even learn something new. In the Salon, we host community conversations, so all voices are appreciated. We hope you will enjoy the show. Cheers. She agreed. I sent her some questions, but she also has some questions. And I just thought that this would be just a good way for me even to just kind of see where I am in my life. And you all are welcome to ask questions. Ange has a mic, and so she will come to you whenever you do have a question. You don't have to wait till the end because this is incredibly informal, okay? And I do want everybody to introduce yourselves. I really do. So I'm going to start with Ange, and all you have to do is give me your name and where you live, and because everybody knows me. So just tell them how long you know me. You ain't got to go into a whole lot of stuff because that would be ugly and dangerous. So
everybody doesn't know you.
Oh,
so
they will by the time this bad boy's over.
But let me tell you a couple of things, if I may, before you get started.
Okay.
So I don't know if Rita told you or not, but we've known each other for a long time, many years, and we see each other back and forth. But I went to a women's event. I cannot think of the name of it, but you were the speaker. And there are some people that when they speak, like E.F. Hutton, you listen. Mm-hmm. And the thing I noticed was that when Rita came into the room and started speaking, the energy of the room, which was already good, expanded. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, I need to listen to her. I need to know what she's about. And so I'm just very proud to call her friend. Mm. She calls herself a spiritual transformation expert. She is a coach. She's and if you are one of her mentees, then you're in a great position. Mm. But you will learn a little bit more about her as we talk today. Mm-hmm. So some of my friends here don't know you, so I wanted them to get a little taste of who you are.
Yeah, because I used to do a lot more traveling than I do now, and I was on a Delta flight, and I walked on. You know how you see, and I hadn't seen her since high school. And so after that, we kind of shared flights. I mean, you know, I'd be on and I'd be looking for her. So, you know, it's full circle. It's full circle. And just to be back down here where I started kindergarten. Mm-hmm. And my brother just told me like 3 years ago that I did not know this. My daddy took me to the kindergarten on Fort Lee, and they said I couldn't enter because I was black. Mm-hmm. On Fort Lee.
And that's something.
And when my brother told me, I was so upset I couldn't see straight. I said, that's why I'm angry now. That's my problem. But he brought me home, and then he went back. And his boss, who was there, said, so how did it go? And my dad explained to him. He said, oh no, that's not gonna happen. And he went over there and took care of it. So then I was able to go. I would have been protesting even now. How dare you not laugh up in your place? But anyway, so I started kindergarten here, and then we came back here. I was here for my freshman and sophomore year with all of my high school friends. They're going to introduce themselves, and then I came back to Virginia State. I started at Fisk. I transferred. I left Frankfurt and went to Fisk for a year, and then came here because my dad. I was trying to figure out why my dad went to Vietnam, and my mom, you know, was going. Joe Robert was going to be gone for a year, so somebody had to be with her, you know. So yeah, so Petersburg is home. Yeah, it's home. All right, so Angela, real quick. Stand up.
Hello, everybody. My name is Angela Crump, and I live in Richmond. And I am actually not from here. I'm from Newport News, but been up here, I guess about 40 years. I guess I'm from here. And Rita is an angel. She was a mentee. I'm a mentee. Remember back when you had your alliance? I was one of your mentees. And I've just been following her ever since.
Thank you for being here. Miss Sarah.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I've known this woman for, okay, you have to use both hands, the toes, the ears, but bottom line is, I had gone to get involved with an organization, and I saw this woman making all this noise, talking, da 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 da, and so we had a meeting. And it was in a barn or something like that. And I'm saying, excuse me, do they know who I am? I mean, how do they know who I am? Now, mind you, I did. You know, my mother did. So I walked out and I'm crossing whatever the field trying to get to my car. And this woman says to me, Sarah. I said, hi, Rita. And I kept walking. She said, well, excuse me. She says, are you coming back? I said, no, I kept walking. She goes, hey, if any of you all know Rita, she says, you're not coming back? I said, no, I'm not. She says, well, then you and I have to talk. So we've been talking ever since.
Leadership Metro Richmond. And she was like, no, I'm not coming back. I said, girl, it takes too long for us to get you in here. Oh, you're going to be up in this camp. Yeah. Dr. Tom.
Do I have to?
Of course you do.
Do you trust me?
No.
Huh.
Oh, you
I know how to say cut.
Good afternoon, everybody. I am Reverend Tom Bainham. I am a native of Richmond. My mother is a proud alum of Virginia State University. I am also on the staff at Richmond Hill Retreat Center in Churchill. I've been there for a year and a half, and that's how long I have known Rita. And we just kind of clicked. She's been an incredible influence in my life and in the life of a lot of our staff and residents and the life of Richmond Hill.
Well, that was nice. I was sweating a little bit.
I know you are.
But didn't your mom start One Voice?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
My mother is
choir. My mother is one of the co-founders of the One Voice Chorus,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I was the associate director for 3 years.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. It's cozy, huh?
It's very cozy. I am Jean Holmes, and I met Rita today.
Oh.
Just today. But Belinda is the lead of one of the book clubs that I'm in, and we're also Drifter Sisters together. But I'm here because I'm just very interested. Deborah, who you'll meet in a minute, she turned me on to reading Black authors.
Wonderful.
And so I've been kind of reading it ever since, and that's been a lot of years ago.
Yeah.
I'm originally from Surrey County,
Okay.
but I live here in Prince George and have
Okay.
lived here for the last almost 30 years.
Thank you so much for coming.
Okay.
I'm Lola Lawson, and I have known Rita for quite a few years. She was a neighbor, lived around the corner from me. She went to Peabody High School. Her mother taught at Peabody High School, and I taught with her mother. She was a member of Jack and Jill, right? You were? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But I've known her quite a few years, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much. It's so good seeing you.
She is a Delta though.
I am.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hello. Hello. I'm Deborah Dawson, and I'm from Surrey.
And I'm just meeting Rita today. I'm a friend of Belinda's, and we're Drifter Sisters also. And anytime there's an event at a bookstore, I'm on at a black bookstore. I'm there. I'm there.
That's good.
So I'm just glad to be.
Good. Thank you.
She's a librarian.
Yes.
Oh, of course.
Very good.
Of course. That's awesome. Come here.
Hi, everybody. I'm Camille Young. I'm originally from Michigan, but I lived in Norfolk for about 10 years, and then in July I moved to Richmond. I met Rita in May of 2024 at a Burn Vision retreat, and she
You did it down in Hampton.
Yeah, it was in Hampton. And her amazing circle, like she just attracts light, are one of the reasons why I ended up moving to Richmond.
Thank you for being here, my dear. Okay, Gloria.
Gloria Tucker. Let's see, I am Rita's classmate from Peabody High School. And so we have lots of connections.
And we were in each other's weddings.
Yes, yeah. I was in the marriage, she was in there. I was also, actually, she was a therapist for me when I needed her so much, long before she became a coach. And good thing I probably need to go back at this age. But it was a time when I really did need some therapy, and she was the one for me. So we've been friends.
Yeah.
And still stay friends.
Since ninth grade.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Since ninth grade. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Linda Dookie Clark. Rita, we live kind of in the same neighborhood. Our children went to the same high school. And she's a friend of Gloria. Gloria's my friend, so her friends become
There you go.
my friends.
That's right.
And also, I remember Rita kind of following her along from the good old days when she first started off with like a boutique.
I
She
did.
had a clothing
I sure
store.
did. Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so, of course, Gloria's talked about you and what you are about. And so, of course, I am here to support you. And when I found out it was at this particular bookstore, because I am too, is a bookstore lover. And this is one of my, I have visited before,
Yeah.
but this is the essence of a good black bookstore.
I love it. That's right. Thank you, Linda. Rock.
My name is Rosalind D. Cordova. I'm from Ashland, Virginia. Rita's my cousin.
All right.
And her oldest daughter and my son, around the same age. We've had a lot of fun.
Close age.
Close age, right. So,
Yeah.
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 Jimmy will be 56 on Tuesday.
Yeah, and Kimmy just turned 56.
Right.
I don't know who birthed her. I just raised her.
They'll tell your age, right?
Rod and I were pregnant at the same time,
Same
and
time.
our doctor made sure with our weight. I mean, you know, they were strict back then.
That's right.
You could not gain butt, and if you did, they put you in the hospital. And we would go and we'd get weighed, and then where did we go? We went to eat. We went
And that's the hot foot Sunday.
yeah. And we would just eat and eat till we could hardly move, and then we get it off by the next
And just
time we
waddle
went.
on the floor.
Yeah, yeah. So Kimmy was the 6 and Jim was the 8-10.
And we've had a lot of fun together.
Yeah.
It's been fun for a long time.
A long
And I'm
time.
gonna say to you that I sung with one voice for about 4 years. I didn't go to this concert.
Yeah.
I did not know that, Ross.
I sung with one voice, yes. That was on my bucket list.
Okay.
Get a chance to support one voice. because
Oh, it's
all
beautiful.
from choir.
It's absolutely
And I enjoyed it,
beautiful.
when I did it.
Yeah.
And your mom did.
Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot.
Yes.
Please.
Hello, everyone. I am Lisa Eanswoody, and I live in Henrico, Virginia. And Miss Rita is family and
Yes.
soror.
Yes.
But I married into the family, and
I married into the family.
yes, so we
I
both
just
married.
left him and kept Rob. That's what I did.
Yeah, and I've known you for about 35
Yeah,
years. About 35
absolutely.
years.
Absolutely.
And my husband and your daughter are out now eating.
They are forced to be reckoned with.
Yes,
They
and I love
really
this
are.
bookstore.
Yeah, yeah. James.
Hello everyone, my name is James Wilson. Rita and I go to the same church. I met her through her daughter. And she's just a great person. I'm glad to be here.
Good afternoon, evening everyone. I'm Priscilla Carter. I've been knowing Rita since high school. She's been a thorn in my side ever since. I love her to no end, but when Rita comes to town or whenever Rita's doing something, she never fails to send me emails, text messages, hey girl, let's do this, let's do that. And normally I always try to comply and help her and do whatever I can. I love her to death. All right?
Ninth grade.
Goodness.
Hello, everybody. My name is Kathy Powell Dixon, and I'm a Petersburg native, class of 1966 from Peabody High School. Currently living in Philadelphia. I'm in a local book group here. Belinda knows about it, and some of our book group members are here. Can't wait to get your book and for us to talk about it.
Okay, thank you. All right, Miss Sheila.
I'm Sheila Martin Brown and a classmate with Rita. And there's a coincidence that happens. As was mentioned, somebody ran into Belinda on a flight. Well, when my late husband and I were leaving Newark and moving to Atlanta, I guess it was on the Richmond to Atlanta leg, Belinda was on that flight. And every time I was on Delta, I was always looking for her.
That's right.
Yeah, you know. So it's nice to see a familiar face, you know, in locations like that.
Yeah.
But Rita is just wonderful. You're just wonderful. And when I lived in Atlanta, my mother was always telling me what was going on with my friends back here. And, you know, she used to talk about all the wonderful things that you were doing. And after she passed, I was, you know, I wasn't getting, you know, my communication pipeline, you know, had ended. But then when I moved back here at the end of 2021, I was able to reconnect with people. So it's great seeing all that you do.
You have one person who just kind of gives you all the news and tells you what's going on from the class, in the class. And typically, it's that somebody has passed. But what I will give Sheila credit for, her humor. And so even though you're sad that the person left, Sheila just makes you laugh.
Wait, let me clarify. Those are separate messages. Those are separate messages. You know, the humor comes out in the general announcements, but I'm always respectful.
You are.
With, you know,
when are. But then we go right down to the next part. And it's always good. But she's so wonderful about doing that. So whenever anybody, I mean, she tells you where, when, who, and everything. So, you know, it's not like, oh my God, Sheila's writing this again. It's like she's just sharing with us because she is respectful. So thank you for that. And then I decided I wanted to do more one-on-ones with clients because that's where you find out who they are. I had a boutique at one point, and I was so fascinated by women who would come in who knew exactly how they wanted to look. And so I say to this day, when women are out, they know what they're wearing. They know the message that they send it. And, you know, and so that's what I found when I was coaching. And I believe that all of us are we are always transforming. We are always evolving. We never stay the same. I just suggest you take charge of it. Get in front of it so that the legacy that you leave is one that you created for yourself. And also understand that we are the creators of our lives. So wherever you are today is where you created yourself to be. And you just have to hold on to that. So what I do, particularly now with everything that's going on, I just want women, particularly African American women, to stop just pouring into everybody else and not including themselves. And I was at a conference yesterday, and every woman that I spoke to, I had a couple women that even, you know, started crying because we're holding so much in. And when you hold it in, it eats you alive and you lose yourself. And the more you pour, the less you have for who you are. And so for me, it is showing you how to listen, not talk, but listen. When I ask folks, what is your relationship with God? They'll say, well, I pray. I said, but do you listen? Because who created you? Who's got the plans for you? Who knows what's going to happen with you? So we need to listen more in order to be able to know the direction that God wants us to go in. So that's probably the primary thing that I do is get folks to listen.
So I want to talk about that, but before I do, and you might want to use your mic so to make sure that this recording is being heard and understood. You talked about the experience you had. Well, when women are of a certain age, we just gotta have some wisdom. If you're smart at all, you got some wisdom. But oftentimes people dismiss us. So how do you think that women should, a mature woman can find her voice and use it for good?
I could do a whole workshop on that. But use your voice. Don't be embarrassed. I talk to women in leadership, and they're trying to dumb down, if you will. And I say, you weren't hired because you dumbed down. You were hired because of who you are. And you cannot allow anybody to take that away from you. And always remember that the job doesn't define you. So I just did a blog. It's on ritaricks.com right now. And it says, what do you do when you don't have a paycheck? That's when you get a chance to see who you really are. Because now you don't have the title, now you don't have the job. Who are you? What other gifts do you have that you can use? What else can you do? What can you sell that you don't need anymore? And get, how many books do you have that you can sell? So there are gifts in us that were given to us when we came here, and what I found is there's more and more and more. And so, I'm always being asked, when are you going to retire? And that's not going to happen, because there's just too many things that I still want to do, too many things that I know I am supposed to do. And I urge you to just think about what it is that you do that you love doing, but you don't charge for it. Oh, I just give it away because it's so easy. Well, no, it's not for somebody who can't do it. And so it is important that you look at who you are and why you were here. Because until you leave this earth, you're supposed to be doing something.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're supposed to be doing something.
So is that one of the reasons you wrote this book? What do you hope to accomplish? What do you want people to take away from this book? I wish I had a really cool answer for that, but I don't. So in, I guess it was 2012, I mentioned Benita Johnson. She said, you need to get on Twitter. I didn't know what is Twitter? She said, it's this new app. I was just barely understanding what the app was. And so she said, just put stuff on there, just write stuff. And so that's when I started putting something very basic and very simple, just for today. And that's the name of the book, #JustForToday. Because this is all we have. This moment right here matters. So why not do something to stay in the present? That's what I love about being still. When you take your time to listen and align with your spirit in the morning and connect with your creator, your day goes so much smoother. Not to say that it doesn't get jacked up, but you already know why it gets jacked up, and you can already decide to slow down. You don't need it. This morning at 7 o'clock, I was at the grocery store, and I was buying groceries, and I don't usually do that because I don't ever know what I'm going to eat, and I don't cook. So today, I said I'm going to take time, and I'm going to get me some groceries, and I pulled it all together, and I brought my basket up, and I put everything out, and I didn't have my wallet. Because I had another purse yesterday. And so I had to come home, and I was rushing, and then I said, why are you rushing? The groceries not going anywhere. Ain't nobody else gonna buy them groceries. So just take your time. And that's what I'm saying about this time in our lives, particularly when there's so much noise. We have to move away from the noise. We have to relax. And I need to get back to your question, because what I did was just to start doing from 2013 till about
about 2019 or 2018, I would just do periodically just for today. And I literally realized that I had a whole lot of them. And a friend of mine or a colleague told me that there was a gentleman in South Africa. And what he would do would be to pull all of them together so we could see what we had. So he worked when I was asleep, and I was awake when he was asleep, and he pulled them all together, and that's how we got this book. Yeah.
So, well, let me just say that the value of this is every day is a different day and you're in a different space, but sometimes you just need a little inspiration. And you may not have anybody else around you, but you can pick up this book and you can turn to any page and find something that you can grab hold of, you know, and make it your own and get you through a day. I know that you have a saying, what you do today forms your tomorrow. So have you always used sayings and affirmations and?
Yeah, I typically do. I typically do because they just kind of come to me. And what you do today does form your tomorrow, whether you like it or not. So you can't afford to be mad tomorrow because you started forming it today. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's why I keep saying this is your life. And it's going to happen the way you do it. You cannot be responsible for other people. You cannot make other people do anything. But you can decide how much time you want to spend with them. You can figure out how much time you want to be bothered by them or you want to be excited by them. But I just need folks to, particularly my sisters, to stay in the present and to enjoy, just to enjoy.
Now, you talk to a lot of women in a lot of places. Are there any common blockages that keep us from really, you know, we have these desires and goals and we don't always meet them because the blockages stop us. Yeah. Are there some common ones that you notice?
That's a good question, girl. She is good. So I used to say that I show women how to get away from the barriers that were keeping them from creating the life they were born to live. Barriers are serious. We all have them. My barrier, which I did not, I had a coach who told me, because I've always had coaches, I love coaches. And and she told me, she said, Rita, something's blocking you. I said, girl, I've done everything I'm supposed to do. She said, nope, there's something that's blocking you. What I realized was that what was blocking me was we were from Mississippi, so we would leave Virginia and have to drive to Jackson, you know? And it was tough, you know, in the 60s, in the 70s, you know? And I was telling somebody, we lived on Taiwan for 2 years and we were the only black people in the whole southern tip of the island. So that's what I was used to. And then to come back to the States was always difficult for me. Because how come they like me over there and they don't know me and you don't like me over here and you know me? But my dad would oftentimes wear his uniform because then people were a bit friendlier because he had his uniform on. So he had his uniform on that day, and my mom could pack up for 90 years. She could pack food for 90 years, but we decided we were going to go to this restaurant. We were in Texas, and it said all are welcome. It was open and all are welcome. So my dad decided, okay, we're going to go in there. And we got up to the door, and there was a Confederate flag in the window. And the owner came out, and he said, where y'all going? And my dad said, I'm just going to bring my family in for lunch. He said, you can't eat in here. And my dad said, well, it said all are welcome. He said, you see this flag right here? This means no, are welcome. And I will never, I get choked now, I will never forget the look on my dad's face. Because he was embarrassed. He was a major in the military. And they're telling him that. You know, and we saw it. Now my brother, he never even remembered it. But what we're gonna do is go to a break because we gotta do a commercial, and then I'll come back and tell you how I was able to get through that. Make sense? Yes. We'll be right back. Thanks.
So we're gonna pick up where we left off. In Texas with your dad.
Yeah.
taking you all to a restaurant where you were not welcomed?
So we got back in the car, and I never, ever forgot that. You know, and that's just, I know it's a small thing in a fabulous life that we had traveling, because we would go all over Europe. It was a fabulous life, but I just never forgot that. And when my coach, I think I was 70, I was about 70 or 71, there was a class that was being offered, a 2-day class at Richmond Hill. And if you all don't know about Richmond Hill, it's richmondhillva.org. It's a beautiful retreat center. And so there was a class that was offered, and it was like, how do you remove your barriers? And it had never been offered before, it hadn't been offered since, but it was there for me. And so I registered for it, and that first night, they said that we had to write a letter to somebody that just absolutely angered me. And so I wrote the letter to white men, because I had just never gotten over that, and then I had seen others do that. And I wrote, and I'm very political, and I was watching what was going on. I was watching back then what was going on. You know how I feel now, but this was back then. And I probably wrote 10 pages. I cursed, I cried, I fussed, I yelled, and I wrote till I got it all out of me. To the point that I realized they had nothing to do with me. I had nothing to do with them. I had great white male friends. I was with Mark Warner yesterday. I sent a note to Tim Kaine the other day. So I have these amazing men in my life. Those are just two. But I had held on to that one man all those years. And so getting back to the question, it is important for you to think about, especially black women, because we could probably every one of you has a story in here. And I just want you to think about that story, and then let's talk about it, because it could very well be blocking you because of what you heard when you were this tall, or when you were this tall. And it could have been about your skin color, or your hair, or your behind, any number of things, right? And that's what I used to say. I show you how to remove the barriers preventing you from creating the life you were born to live.
That is so valuable.
Yeah.
That's very valuable.
Yeah.
So that leads into some of the things you'll find in the book. How do you suggest that people use the book?
You do just like this. And just open it up. What does that say? You just open it up.
Think about what in your life you want to be different and change it.
So there. I'm a coach, but I'm not always kind.
In one of your messages, Rita, you say, transform your restlessness to peace. How do we find that peace in trying times like today?
Let me tell you. So I have a 3-pillar process, and I can tell you, and then we have to talk about how we hold you accountable. The first thing you do is to set your alarm to get up 30 minutes earlier in the morning. It's as simple as that, Lexa. It's as simple as that. Get up 30 minutes earlier, because it is so quiet. It is so wonderful. It is so quiet again, and it's dark. And I want you to get a journal, and I want you to go in your closet, and I want you to sit under a blanket that's really cozy, and I want you to write. And it can be a Dear God letter. So it's not like you have to figure out what to write. Just tell God what's on your mind. He already knows, but you're telling him your side. Right? And so you write about what's going on. In the beginning, there's a lot that's going to come out. Just like this story, there may be things that come out with you. You're just writing. Give yourself 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes just to write till you stop. The more you write, the more you're downloading stuff that's been in your head forever, that's been blocking you. After a while, you'll do less with the complaints and more with what you're grateful for. And then you're going to move from what's grateful for to what God wants you to do. It's very cool. It takes some time, but it works. So you journal every day. And this just, I'm saying that's like 7 days a week. It has to become a part of your rhythm. The second thing you do is grab this book and you find something in here that you want to do today and make it happen so it's positive. And then you set your alarm. Don't use your phone. Set your alarm because you haven't picked up your phone yet and you haven't gotten your watch and you have not turned the TV on. And you take 20 minutes to listen. Have your journal with you because I'm telling you, you are going to hear so much. You're going to hear so much. I was at Richmond Hill for a 2-year program and they required that we be silent 6 times in those 2 years for 24 hours. It's amazing. I was silent for 24 hours. It started at 4 in the afternoon, it went to the next day, and you wore a sign that says had silence on it, so nobody bothered you. And it was wonderful. I started taking a flip chart with me because I was hearing so much, and I'm just writing it down. And during that time, I really got the whole notion about listening to the silence, which is a retreat that I do at Richmond Hill today. Angie does the virtual one on second Tuesdays, and then I do the retreat on, we're going to be doing it every other month in 2026, and it's all day. And so it's not like when you're in your home, you're being silent. And people tell me, well, I'm single. There's nobody in my house, but you're doing. This isn't about doing. This is about being. We are human beings. So we are to be still, to be quiet, to be silent. We're not supposed to do all the time. And you do that every day, and I'm telling you, you will hear God all kinds of day and night, and it's just, and it takes the stress off of you because now you're listening to Him rather than trying to figure out yourself.
That's right.
So I have a true confession.
Okay.
So I'm telling you all this because I've been practicing silence since 2009. And I was going to Dallas August 12th. And I had been working all weekend trying to get everything done. I was supposed to be on there 5 days. I had to make a pitch about my business, so there was a lot going on. And I asked my daughter, because my office is in her house, and I said to her, Cam, I think you should take my blood pressure. And she said, okay. And now I had no problems with blood pressure, but I just felt okay. So she got it and she said, oh, we don't have any batteries. So I said, never mind, it's 8:30, let me just go on. No, Mom, I got some batteries. Y'all, it was 207 over, damn it, I don't even know what to talk about. That's how high it was. The look on her face, because she used to be a nurse, scared me more than anything. The look on her face, she said, Mom, I have never seen anybody's blood pressure that. Well, because I didn't know about blood pressure, I was like, well, how bad is it? And she said it's bad. So she took it again. It was a little bit higher. She said, do you feel anything? I felt nothing. No headache, no nothing. So I said, Cam, let me go in my office. I got a chaise lounge in there. Let me go in there and just lie down for a few minutes because it'll be okay. I went in there, I sat down, and I heard God say, don't go. And I said, say less. And I didn't go. Went to the hospital, went to the emergency room. And they did everything they could do, but checking this and that and the other. And when the doctor came in, he said, you are taking care of yourself. You're doing a good job, but you're a workaholic. I had never heard that. A workaholic? Well, everybody works like this. No, they don't. They're not supposed to. And I realized in those 5 days, because the girls took the computer and the phone from me. So all I did was eat. It was amazing. It was like so cool. And I look back over my life. I'm still going to the gym at 6, like I used to do when I was, 50. I don't need to go to the gym that early now. He gonna wait for me. I don't need to stay till 9 and 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock to say I worked half the night. What was I doing that for? The question is, what are you doing that no longer serves you? What are you doing that just no longer serves you? What are you doing? And so my life just changed. So I have an alarm. If you are with me at 10 o'clock, except for Friday and Saturday, there's an alarm that's going to go off at 10. You shouldn't be with me because I'm supposed to be in the bed at 10. Before, when that alarm went off, I said, okay, it's 10 o'clock, I got 2 more hours. Now I am in the bed. I am in the bed for 10 o'clock. So I start getting ready at 9. And I still get work done and I still feel better. Now, I did feel anxiousness in here. I didn't realize it and I got used to it. So I had to settle down with that. That was my wake-up call. That was my warning. So when I feel that now, I take my blood pressure to see what it is. But it's never been anywhere near there. And I am on blood pressure medication until December, and then we will see what happens. But that was bad, guys. That could have been ugly. Mm.
Absolutely.
But that God saved me. But to be here today to tell y'all that, I figured. Yeah.
Let's do a lightning round.
Okay.
You have in the book some one-word messages. So I'm going to say a few of them, and then you tell me briefly what they mean to you. Ready? Well, the first one I can probably delete. Rest. So we got that one.
Yeah.
But
that's a word. Put words up on your mirror and put words around your computer to remind you. We remind ourselves of other things, but the bottom line of this is taking care of you. Take care of you. And many of you are still taking care of parents, and you've got children and you've got grandchildren. We still have to take care of us. We need to value ourselves, because when we value ourselves, other people will. And if people take advantage of you, it's because you let them. Don't let them.
Preach.
Yeah.
All right. Dream.
I dream in the morning when it's dark, and I just dream about the ocean, and I dream about my grands and my girls, and I just dream about who I am, and I dream about what we're doing with the business, and those are all fabulous dreams. I am very good with where I am now. Took me a minute to get here, but I am very good with where I am. And I'm unapologetic about that. And I may not have all that I would like, but I sure do have all that I need, And I am incredibly grateful to God for where He has me now, and for y'all, for my friends,
Here's another one.
Here's another one. Oh no, I thought you were saying here's another friend.
Please help. All right. Well, here's the last one. Apologize.
Let me tell you, that comes from my granddaughter, because this girl is so much like me. She's gonna be 28 whenever the 20th is. Yeah. And when I said something to her one time, and she said, Rita, I don't think that was very nice. And I said, well, I was just playing. She said, but I still don't think that it was very nice. And I said, tell me why. And she told me. And I said, Erica, I am sorry. I understand what you're saying, and I apologize for that. And now it comes to me very easily. If Kim says something, or or anybody for that matter, I will apologize, because it ain't hard to apologize. Let it go. Yeah. I don't need to let you be the one to hurt your feelings. And so it's very easy for me to apologize, because I think it's important that we release the other person, because I don't need them going being mad at me and I'm fine. Right?
Right.
So we good to have another one, Pete? Okay.
Okay. Let me, what advice would you give to your 25, 30-year-old self?
I should have planned more. I should have planned. I was too busy, going to college, getting a husband, having children, and that was it. Ain't nobody tell me what to do after that. And, I taught for 15 years. I don't feel that they were wasted, but I think that there were other things I could have done that would have gotten me a lot further, a lot quicker. But on the other hand, I've got 2 amazing daughters. They're just amazing. And they have had 2 amazing daughters. And, my son-in-laws are exes, but they still okay with me because they are the dad of my granddaughters. And so for me, I just would have I should have had a vision earlier. That's what I'm trying to say.
So
I didn't have a vision.
That leads me into this last question, and maybe we might get something from the audience. How do you define success?
I think everybody defines it individually because everybody has a goal, but I think success is getting up every morning and being the person that you are supposed to be, not doing. That's success. I was at the conference yesterday and I had 2 women that cried while I was talking to them and I ministered to them, and then a woman who has cancer. And I prayed right there in the middle of the lobby. I prayed for her, and she came in today. And so, because she was down here. And so if we can be this person that we were born to be, that is success. That is success.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because so often we don't know who we be. You know?
Who be we?
Yes, indeed. There may be someone out here in our audience who might have a question. As we were talking, maybe something came to mind.
Okay, yeah. Good. This is the last 15 minutes, right, Peter? We can keep going.
Yep, right.
Okay. All right.
Any questions?
No question, but as she was talking, I started to feel a calmness in listening to what you were saying.
And I think that's what the stillness brings, doesn't it? Now, I have been with Angie on Zoom. We've done the stillness. I was supposed to have been with
Richard
you,
Hill,
but
yeah, you could make it, yeah.
Carol came up or something. But there is so much value in stillness and in silence.
Yeah. And in listening to yourself. Listening to yourself, not talking, but just listening to yourself. And there will be times now, because I've been doing it for so long, nothing comes. Nothing comes, and it's just so quiet. But then I'll hear something later on in the day, or I'll be directed to something later on in the day, or somebody comes up to me, like happened yesterday. I stood there, and it was amazing the number of women that were attracted to my table, who just shared stories with me. One woman had left her job. I told her, I said, I just wrote a blog about that, but I said to her, you have to call me. I'm not gonna call you. I am willing to give you a complimentary 30 minutes, but you gotta call me. You gotta want it bad enough to call me. And of course, I extend that to all of you all too.
What's a session of coaching like?
I love coaching. I typically ask 4 or 5 questions in the beginning that you give me. So I want to know more about how you got to where you are now. But as a coach, my role is to take you further. We don't stay here. We're moving forward. What else is next for you? What have you not thought about? What do you still want to do with your life? What do you need to get rid of? Person, place, or thing. And it doesn't matter whether it's family or whatever, you have to know who you are. You have to know yourself well enough so that you can say no is a complete sentence. I'm not going to do that. It's a complete sentence. Or I'm going to read today. And I don't know if I finished the story. The one thing that the doctor told me to do was to not work on Sundays. And that has been, what a joy. Do you have to do it? And I'm a Netflix fool, so I'm there, and stuff still gets done. This is the only thing we record on Sunday. This is the only thing that I will do as far as work is concerned, and that's because I love it. But I think that coaching is about me listening to you, my hearing what you say, but my also hearing what you don't say.
And sometimes there are not enough people in your life who give you the space to put your thoughts out there, and because they're so quick to want to answer, give you a suggestion about how you ought to fix your life. But what you do is just allow the space to be there so a person can just kind of figure some things out for themselves, see some things. I think there's a lot of value.
There is, because coaching is done by somebody, you know, and even if I know you, I've had people say, well, you know me, how can you coach me? Because I know you. I already know you. And so I can hear what you're not saying. But we can't be afraid of coaching. We can't be afraid of therapy. We can't be afraid of allowing somebody else that we trust to come in and set us straight, to just listen to us. And I was just looking around because Cheryl's here, and I've been with Cheryl a while. I wanted also for Tom just to kind of share in a minute what you think about the book, because you've had the book a year. And I said a minute, right? Because he's a minister, so, you know, he a preacher. He a preacher.
So Rita gave me a copy of the book about a year ago, and what I do, my own discipline, is I do my quiet time in the morning, and I have a series of books that I use, and this one is one of them. And so I usually start with this one, and I'll put the date and the time. There's some days that I miss, but what I do now with the book is that I put it during the week when I'm in the office. I will put it on my desk, and when I get to my office, I'll read through it there. There have been some things that she has said in the book that I have laughed about. There have been times that I have called her and said, what are you talking about? What do you mean? In fact, I did it a couple of days ago. I have found it very refreshing, and so what I will do, and when we get to the end of this 365 days, I'll go back and start again January 1. Because what I read on November 16th today may be different. It may be something different November 16th of 2026.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. But you know, one of the things I'm happy about is that you really didn't put dates here.
No.
Because that way you can open it up to any page. And don't be deceived by the fact that, you know, they're short, pithy sayings and affirmations.
Because it's just for today.
Yes. Yes. And usually it's just what you need for today.
Absolutely.
Rita, what I do want to mention too, because you talked about, it's very clear that you are physically fit. And oftentimes, and it's so easy to neglect our health because we're taking care of so many other people. So tell us about why it's important. Now, you talked about that blood pressure, and that certainly is important. But why do you think the physical part is just as important as the mindfulness part?
Because it keeps your core strong. And so you can stand up, and you can still wear heels, It keeps your core strong. And I have a trainer that I've had now, I know at least 10 years, maybe even 12. And he doesn't play. He is the only man on this planet who can tell me what to do. Because I listen to him and I follow him. But I do things that I would not ordinarily do. And here's the thing. If I were doing, first of all, I wouldn't do fitness training by myself because I don't know which weight to pick up. And that's the difference. He can see that he may start me off heavier and then we'll get lighter as we go through. Or he can see when I pick it up, he'll say, oh, that's too light. And it is, but you watching me like a hawk, and then he'll give me another one. But we have a really good relationship. He's very spiritual and he encourages me and I'm so grateful for him. And so I feel good. I walk a lot. I literally just stopped walking. Look at Ange. I just stopped running in the last week because it was really exacerbating my hip. And I am competitive, and I would run until my legs fell off, but I don't need to go for no doggone surgery. So I am going to just get on the treadmill and walk because it's what I know, pride. That pride is a trip. Everybody else walking, I want to run. But anyway, and I miss marathons. I miss dancing. Rara and I dance. She's the one who's the leader, and she's goes from one foot to the other. I'm the one running around like a crazy woman. But at the end of the day, I do feel good. And I'm a breast cancer survivor of 26 years. And I really, that scare with the blood pressure was the only other thing that has ever happened to me. And I do attribute that to my ex-husband because he was a phys ed major. And so I would take his racquetball classes in the summer and I would run with him, and that's really what started me. But we have to, it is our mind, our body, and our spirit. If you hurt, how can you think? How can you be silent if you're hurting?
Yes.
And so, and my girls, all of them, they doing what they doing, and I need to be following with them. We the Fab Five. And they're like,
I'm looking at some of these faces, and they're like, man,
yeah,
no way I'm gonna be out.
I know.
There are so many things you can do, even in a chair. Because I teach chair yoga, and I'm telling you that you can get a good workout even in a chair. So.
But you have to, because your body has to move. And so when I'm working with him, I don't feel this hip. When I'm walking, I don't feel this hip. But if I get on the treadmill and I, get the incline up, then I will start to feel it. For me, I'm the one who says, oh, well, I'm gonna wait until it starts hurting to stop. That's dumb, and he tells me don't go that far, don't go that long. So it's important, guys. It really is, because we want to be here for that. This was our 60th high school reunion this year, and we need to be here for the 70th.
Well, Rita, you know what? I think our time has come to an end. And I think it's time for these good people to get a copy of Just for Today.
Hashtag.
For them. Hashtag.
Just
for Today for themselves.
And buy it for a friend, because Christmas is coming. Any questions, guys, before we stop? Because we got a couple more minutes. Yes, ma'am.
So I have one. It's a bit philosophical, but I've just been thinking because I've kind of put myself on a new path that I'm following,
You have.
and I'm kind of in a new focus. But I find that sometimes being on that path and putting myself on that path, I feel a little lonely. Like there's a little bit of loneliness to that focus. And I was wondering if you ever feel that way,
All the
and
time.
had any advice for dealing with that.
I do, because it's my path, and nobody else can be on it but me. So there is a bit of loneliness, and sometimes I'm like, why are you doing this? Why don't you just get a job like everybody else? Why are you always out there doing this and that and the other? But it's who I am. And so I accept the fact that, nobody else is going to necessarily follow, but it's who I am. So I'm proud of you. I really am. Because if we were all doing the same thing, what kind of world would it be? Yeah. Thank you.
That was a good question.
Yeah. Who else? Anybody else? Thank you all. So.
Yes, give her a hand. And before we go, we must thank the owner of this fabulous bookstore. He is not here today, but his name is Demetrius Frazier.
Yeah.
And if you're in the Petersburg area or anywhere surrounding, please come on down to Petersburg. You can see not only this bookstore, but a lot of fabulous places.
Because there's a couple of black-owned restaurants around here, right?
Yeah.
This way or that?
The fish place down the road.
Right.
They have one in Richmond. Yes. We have a new boutique hotel with a roof
On top, of course, it closes for the winter, but they have delicious food. So we've got a lot of amenities here down in Petersburg, and we want you to come visit.
So I just want you to meet the baby. She is the, what are you, the general manager or what? But I think you're the owner, but he knows. So just take a minute and tell them how long you've been open and programs that you've had.
Well, first of all, I do want to thank you all for coming. Anytime that we can do author events in this space is a really good thing. It's great to always get the community out and support all of these wonderful authors who are in Petersburg and the whole Virginia area. My name is Faith Sims. I am the manager of Resist Booksellers, and we are going on about 2.5 years now in this space. Before we opened up here, we were next door in a much smaller space, and before that, we were an online pop-up shop. But our entire mission is to just spread literacy and community, especially in areas like Petersburg. And so we have a huge focus on Black and African American authors. We've got just about every genre, but we love to do events like this with authors. We just had a whole book festival in September. We do a ton of community events as well. But our main thing is just to make sure we get the community reading and we get people in a space that is safe for us and inclusive, and we can all feel seen and supported. Amen.
And so with that, we'll say good evening, good afternoon. We'll see you again. Thank you again for coming. You're welcome. And bye.
And she'll be at a table right back there to sign.
I sure will.